am saved by pure luck far too often on the weekends. I always forget that this gym closes at 6. I'm a fucking nutcase. But 4:25 now, so let's see, by the time I actually get in there, put my stuff down, get a little drink of water, get on the hamstring curl for hamstrings, it should be about 4, probably about 4:40, maybe 4:45. That'll be the first working set. And hamstrings is pretty quick. I feel like hamstrings don't give me too much trouble in terms of getting a good pump. It really only takes me a couple of, well, not a couple, but just me sitting on the laying hamstring curl for a little while. Set after set, maybe throw some cable RDLs in, and then hamstrings are cooked. One thing which I wish I had with quads, but for hamstrings, it's very easy for me to hit failure. Like, it's not very difficult for me to sit down on the hamstring curl and, reach a point where I'm barely doing partials of like 1 inch of movement. Somebody was bringing up that was because like your hamstrings are full of fast twitch fibers. I don't really know how that correlates to whatever else. Or maybe, whatever. So for me, hamstrings, I can sit down, and even with only marginal hype, I can do what I'm pretty satisfied with as a hard set. So hamstrings, I think I've got on lock. Maybe throw in a couple variations of like pause reps or half reps, like go up halfway and then finish the full rep by coming all the way up to fully bent knees, then back down, maybe some pause reps, a little bit of variation, kind of just for kicks. But hamstrings, I think I've got pretty much under wraps. I think I know what I'm doing there. But quads gives me a little bit more difficulty. Partially because I think my quads are subpar relative to everything else. Not like they're small, of course, but I do want bigger quads. But I mean, come on, look at anybody. Every build could benefit from bigger legs. Unless you're an absolute freak, an absolute outlier, you could probably have some bigger quads. So I think I'm gonna try to, not like lock into a different style, but I do want to make sure that my quad days do get changed up a little bit in terms of their, let's just call it, basic framework. Because for a while there, I was doing one set of crazy heavy squats, like, we're getting up in like 500 pounds plus for, 8 reps ish, right? We're getting in there. And that was pretty much my opener. And then after that one crazy set, my quads had pretty much so much damage done that, like, I didn't really do much other heavy pressing. And I just moved on to leg extensions. And of course, I still felt it. And I did call that a good leg day. But I think that the heavy pressing like that, even with the high reps, I think just trying to do it that intensely maybe is not the answer. Because I don't need stronger legs. I need bigger legs. So in that sense, I think that the weight isn't the vector which I need to really push to make my quad days more effective. Because I think I could sit here, and if I made every quad day like a power building style, go for crazy weight, I think I could bust out some pretty insane squat numbers. But I think I could get to a point where I'm squatting like, X amount of weight, like a crazy amount, and I don't think it would do my quads any good size-wise. So I think for quads, I was saying this last leg day too, I need to bias some more, maybe not higher rep per se, but some more endurance-based pressing sets. So rather than just do one gnarly set of squats like that, which I probably will still throw in every so often just because I like it, and it is a different kind of stimulus, it's a totally different set. But I think rather than that crazy set in the beginning, I was just saying this a couple of weeks ago, how I liked doing squats after I had already sort of like pre-exhausted my quads on leg extensions. So I think that's going to be the framework I follow today. So hamstrings, finish that first, get it out of the way. And then quads, which I would kind of call the hard part of the lift. Not that hamstrings isn't, but you get what I'm saying. Quads, probably a couple sets on the leg extension, to the point where honestly I feel pretty pumped as well as fatigued. And then I think I'll go park by the squat rack and just make use of probably, I'm not sure if I want to do the 3 or the 4 plate range. I don't know. Part of me kind of likes the sound of trying to do a 3 plate set, just AMRAP, but then that gets into a problem with me where if I'm doing the squatting set and the reps are getting like in the 20 plus range, then I'm a little bit more prone to rack it just because it turns into a bit of a marathon. That's kind of why I like squatting heavy, because it's easy for me to hit failure. If you tell me to do squats with a weight where I'm going to fail at 8 reps, I can do that pretty comfortably. Obviously, I look like I'm dying. I got a freaking bazillion pounds on my back and I'm like, ugh. But if you tell me to do 315 for like 30 reps, especially after kind of already having a quad pump from being pre-exhausted on leg extensions, that's a hard set. But I think this may be a situation where it's sort of like, the goal that you seek or the prize that you're seeking is in the work that you're not doing, or it's in the work that you're avoiding. So that kind of makes me think I should just go for the higher reps. But again, I'm kind of getting into like real marginal details here. No matter what your leg day looks like, if you're a leg press fanatic, or if you just love sitting down on a leg extension and camping out there, no matter what you do, as long as your sets are hard, you load up your quads with a good amount of weight, you finish with a gnarly pump to the point where even just doing like a body weight squat, like your quads almost don't even want to bend, then you had a good leg day. I'm just trying to get into the nitty gritty, just the teeny little details to improve the stimulation, improve the muscular stimulation, and in turn, the muscular growth. Because I like these pants, but I don't want to fit in them. I do not want to fit my quads in them, right? I want to get, whoa, oh my goodness. Imagine like the largest pair of 80s parachute pants you can think of. I want those to be tight. Now, will I reach that level? Doesn't matter. It does not matter, right? No matter where your goal is in terms of its height or how delusional it may seem, right? You still gotta aim for it and figure out whether or not you'll get there later. So let's just get in there and get started. A little bit of a time crunch, just a little. I probably would have preferred to get here at like 3:30, but I did my cardio late and we went to my sister's house to make Christmas cookies. I didn't do any baking, but I was prepping boxes like the dude sitting in the back of a Pizza Hut. But enough of that. Let's just get in there. Warm-up sets have been completed, so now I'm ready to throw the whole stack around. When I was walking in, I was kind of thinking, so this is a little bit of maybe a piece of advice for the intermediate lifter. Let's say you're kind of on the cusp of what you would call experienced. Like if you're a total noob, then yeah, I could kind of imagine you'd want to take a little bit more of a timid approach. But if you've been lifting for like 6 months, you're coming up on a year, right? And you're kind of getting a little bit of a jittery anxiety about coming into the gym, dude, you got to change your mentality, You're going to have a way better lift if on your way to the gym and on your way in, as you're checking in, as you walk up the steps, get to the weight room, you kind of feel like you own the space. Now that doesn't mean like, be an asshole, like dude, get off this machine, it's for me. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like the more comfortable you can kind of make yourself while you're in here, I think the easier it's going to be to go hard, You should feel like you're in place. And if you're not, I mean, fuck. Just figure out a way. that's kind of on you. But if you keep lifting, I think that'll just come with time. So let me play something to get hyped up and throw this shit around for ideally 50 reps. That's the goal. Come on. Come on. Okay. Let's just repeat that a few more times. A few more. Yeah. Before you're set, if you get your music going and you really sort of try to just get in the zone, I don't know, think whatever kind of crazy thoughts you want to think, have a couple of huffs and puffs, maybe make a little noise if that's the environment you're in, and then, go bananas. One more. Okay. I think that's enough of that for now. So, if you have a leg hamstring curl like this, I would probably say this is a pretty good tip. I guess it depends on kind of your anatomy. But for me, I do not want to hold on to these handles. If I were to have done that set, but sit here and try to hold on to these handles, then I'm using my biceps, my forearms, my lats, my traps to hold myself down. It's just a waste of energy. If I'm doing a movement, the only muscle that I want activated is the one that I'm targeting, right? So hamstring curl, fucking hamstring. So I take everything else out of the equation by kind of, choke holding the machine. And by doing that, all of the tension, because you got to think about this. When I do this hamstring curl, me trying to pull this weight up, it's counteractingly trying to pull my body off the seat. So I got a lot of force to deal with. But by locking in like this, I don't have to, well, you get the idea. It's just easier and I don't have to friggin' hold myself down. I'm kind of just locked into place. But let's do some cable RDLs next. Luckily, I think the cable machine is open. Let's just get over there quick before it gets taken. Tricky as RDLs may be, the feeling that I can get on my hamstrings is way different than on like a hamstring curl. It's it's not even like, usually when I think of my hamstrings, I kind of do think of them like the biceps of my legs. So when I think of those curls, I want to really contract at the top and then get a good stretch at the bottom. But RDLs are they hit your hamstrings in a totally different way. So that being said, it does take a completely different technique, which is definitely kind of tricky. I didn't do RDLs for years because I couldn't feel it. All I felt was my lower back and my glutes. And I don't need that to be worked, right? I want big hamstrings. So I've been kind of biased to do mainly hamstring curls. to do mainly hamstring curls for all my hamstring work, but the stretch from the RDLs is nuts. Just, I don't know, something about it. So when you do them, the technique is kind of tricky. Maybe look up a tutorial. You know, I'm not necessarily the best teacher in this aspect, because my main tip is just try to feel it. But one or two here, and then we're approaching done for hamstrings, so we can get quads going. Come on. One more. Okay. All right, actually, I may be able to push a little bit of advice on these on you. When I do them, not only do I have my feet touching, but I have my heels away from each other. I'm sort of standing in a, like if these are my feet, I'm kind of standing like this. Like I got my heels spread out just a touch. I'm not sure if that's a all around tip. I think it's just going to depend on your, your own knee and hip angles. But that's enough here. I kind of want to do one more set of hamstring curls. Yeah, one more set of hamstring curls. And then quads. I really want to make sure that I beat them to shit before I move on. I can tell my hamstrings are fucking already tight. Like me standing right now, my neutral stance, my legs are bent. And when I totally straighten them out, dude, my hamstrings just get stiff as all hell. So last set might turn into a drop set. I'll see how the first portion goes. Okay. That's enough. Huh? Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm very satisfied with that. Let's keep it up. The hamstring, no, what am I saying? The leg extension is open. I want it. Let's go. Part 2. Legs part 2, quads. Let's get it started. Okay, so plan. I was tempted to like do, so the stack is like basically 300. I was tempted to try to do like 200 with one leg at a time, but in the past, I've kind of, I don't want to say tweaked, but tweaked is a good word. Going too heavy on leg extensions, I have pulled a little something in my quads, kind of like up here a little bit. Nothing like groundbreaking, but to the point where I think I need to temper myself weight-wise with leg extensions. So whole stack, double leg. I don't know. I think for the first set, I'll just be kind of brutish with it. Do the first section of reps as quick as I can go. Really throw it around. And the action of just throwing the weight around that quick, it's going to fatigue me. And then I'll get to a point where I can, I'll be barely doing partials. I'll bust those out as many as I can and then re-rack and move on. And maybe the next set I'll do slow controlled reps. There's a lot of different ways to do leg extensions, play around with it. But I wouldn't want to just do every set the exact same. I think different styles of sets is going to help you get a better pump too. Not only just a pump, but it's probably better for your growth. If I had to make a bro science level estimation like that. But enough chat, let's throw it around. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's do another one. Style unknown. For this one, change it up a bit. Actually, change it up quite significantly. Instead of double leg, I'm thinking 5 reps on the left, 5 on the right, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, back and forth a few times. Maybe a drop set of like double leg at once at the end, to be determined. Let's do that same style one more time. A little heavier. Oh. Okay. I think that's enough leg extensions for now. Let's go do some squats. Let's get some squatting action in, but not barbell. I kind of want to use some Smith machine. I think it's open, so yeah, let's get over there. So in the spirit of making use of less weight for potentially higher, more just kind of burning exhaustive reps, I'm going to limit myself to 3 plates on the Smith, but I am going to do a little pre-exhaust. Honestly, I feel like I've usually done this backwards. I've usually done like something heavy or hard first and then pre-exhausted with bodyweight sissy squats. But I want to try doing the sissy squats first. So it'll be, 10 reps or so, whatever, enough to the point where I feel like my quads are compromised. And then I'll run over here and bust out as many reps of these squats as possible. I've got the little safety hooks. I'm not concerned with failing. Because let's say I get halfway up, I start coming down. Right, I've got the skill to rack this shit. So, nothing else to do but get hyped up. I like Smith machine squats. I guess that's all I gotta say. I like them. No. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I want to go back to leg extensions. I'll discuss over there. Oh my God. Adductor was screaming at me. Maybe not screaming, but just slightly above normal speaking volume. It was saying, I don't love that. Yeah, the universe is keeping me locked into leg extension. And honestly, I'm not complaining. I love the leg extension. But even though I'm not going to do another one of those, that was a good set. I think I'm going to go for superset here. So 5 reps on the left leg, 5 on the right, just like that one I did before. And then jump behind me, grab onto an elliptical for stability. Sissy squats. Quads are done. At least I think so. I'll judge it off feel. If I think I need one more after this, that's what I'll do. Okay. Fuck. Oh, gosh. Okay, that's enough. Oh my goodness. Let's go check the pump. Fuck. Oh shit. Fucking limping. In a good way. Alright, I'd go downstairs to check the pump, but then I'd have to come back upstairs. And in my current state, let's just say stairs are not something I want to interact with more than necessary. So, what do you think? What's our guess? Are we pumped? Are we not pumped? Are my legs smaller than when I got here? All potentially possible, but I think we know the real answer. But let's get some objective proof and really get a good glimpse. So even without, oh my goodness, even just sitting here, I can already see they're fucking full of blood. Oh, I love it. Oh yeah. These shorts are getting tighter and tighter as the weeks progress. I mean, that's the goal. So let's see, how are we, let me get a little glimpse. Oh yeah, here we go. I mean, that's some quad action right there. I tell you what. Boy. Eesh. Now they're looking from the back. Oh my goodness. Decent. Decent. Even just kind of standing. Yeah. All my hamstrings to jump out at you like half a basketball. Now that would be cool. That would be a pair of legs which would make you go, whoa, holy shit. Now, that's not just my goal for legs. I kind of feel like that's my goal for fucking everything. Like, even in baggy clothes, I kind of want people to know what's going on, right? So in that sense, I almost feel like that might be another reason why I like lifting covered up. Apart from the fact that I think, you know, being in a stringer and shorts your whole lift, I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a distraction. You know, kind of, I think it would kind of take away from my zone in a sense. But secondary to that, and like totally unrelated, I kind of feel like it's like, I don't want to say nerf, but almost like putting a handicap on yourself. You know, it's like, I want to reach a size where even clothes can't contain it. But that's getting into some crazy subconscious whatever else. And I'm no psychiatrist, so best I can do is speculate. But good leg day. I'm a fucking leg extension addict, man. And honestly, I don't see any future of me going to a leg extension rehab. I'm firmly committed to it. But those hamstring curls plus the RDLs, pretty badass combination if I were to say so myself. Now all I gotta do is get back to the crib, shower off, and consume the amount of food that somebody would normally eat in 3 days. So, let's roll. All right, hamstrings stimulated, quads very well stimulated, calves did not hit them tonight, but I hit them earlier today because I am gonna start doing my calves after my cardio. So not fasted cardio, not fasted. If I was fasted for the cardio, I probably would not, well, not even probably, I would not want to hit calves afterwards. I want to get home and eat some food. But if I have a pretty nice big meal pre-cardio, I don't mind throwing calves in. And honestly, it's probably only a negligible, not negligible, but probably a minimal difference. I still get a pretty gnarly calf pump. It doesn't, it's not so demanding on my preparation for me to have a good calf lift. Like, if I'm not super well rested or well fed and hydrated, then I am going to feel it on a chest day. I'm going to feel it on an arm day. And most definitely on a fucking leg day for sure. But for calves, you know, I just kind of sit down on the calf raise, bust them out. Your calves are tough. They're tough muscle. You're walking on them all the time. So following that bro science logic and kind of an old school approach, since you're using them all the time, you've got to kind of stimulate them in a way in which they're actually going to respond, you know? So if they're tough, then if you get a calf pump one day and you do a good calf day, assuming you actually hit calves regularly, your calves are probably not going to be on fire sore the day after that. Really, I think they're probably ready to be trained again. Maybe they'll be a little sore. I'll still get that. So my approach for calves, which I recommend this to anybody. If they're not sore, 5 or 6 sets hard, maybe even less than that. But, you know, if they're not sore, lift some weight, put some tension on them, finish with a pump. I think that is going to add up to some calf growth. That's my little piece of calf advice for you. But tomorrow's going to be chest day, which I am pretty freaking excited about. I think I might go to a different gym. Might go to, I don't know where, maybe Metro. maybe Metro, because it has been a while since I've done hammer strength press, and I love hammer strength press. I would say that I want to do some incline dumbbell there, but I don't really love the benches. For me, the benches at that gym are just, they're not a perfect fit for me. And when I do incline dumbbell on them, I feel a little bit unstable. And if I'm going to be loading up, I mean, like more than, I mean, we're getting up to like 150 pounds ish. I want to be 100%, what's the word I'm trying to think of? 100% confident in the setup that I'm doing that on. You know, so if there's a bench that's a little finicky and I don't really love the shape of it, it kind of just doesn't fit my back, or I feel like my butt's going to slip out of it, then I feel like if I were to try to push a lot of weight on something like that, then I'm kind of asking for trouble. You know, so don't just blindly trust the machines and the equipment that you're using. You know, as you're running around the gym and you're all amped up, you want to get some hard sets in. Make sure everything's set up right. You know, I've used some machines where, you know, I've done a warm-up set or whatever, and then I actually kind of take a look at it. And I've used this one like squat machine before, and the whole thing is like all the tension is kind of transferred through some pulleys into just one cable that's connected to the weight stack, and it looked like that cable was going to snap at any moment. Like some of the wires were frayed and coming off, and if I were to try to go for like the whole stack there, I think it would just result in some freaking trouble. Like I'd probably do one rep, get to the bottom, and then the action of getting to the bottom of a rep and then changing the weight's momentum. You know, like if you were to put two miniature bathroom scales on my hands, right, or two force readouts while I'm doing bench, the weight or the amount of force into my hands is going to be the most at the bottom when I switch directions, because that's the point in which I'm accelerating the weight from coming back down to back up. So I feel like if I tried to go for at least not even the whole stack, maybe just a heavy weight on that machine with the frayed cable, I'd get to the bottom of the rep, and then as I'm kind of switching to you know, from the negative portion to the positive, I feel like the cable would fucking snap and I'd launch myself up into the I don't even know. AKA, I mean, let's just kind of bullet point it. Bad situation. So make sure you kind of have the foresight to predict if whatever you're doing is potentially a problem. You know, one thing that kind of gets me there is seeing people squat with just socks. Oh my goodness, not good. Not freaking good. I mean, that can be a pretty severe situation. Let's say you combine squatting with socks on like a, you know, kind of a basketball floor style pad in the squat rack, plus no safeties. Oh, God, getting the heebie-jeebies, man. Right? That is not. Come on, right? You've got this 15-pound thing surrounded by your skull, right? It's called your brain. You got to make sure you use it. So, other than that, I mean, I kind of got nothing else to say. School's done. It's almost Christmas time. It's going to start getting nice and snowy around here. Well, actually, I don't know. The weather's been getting weird, man. Fucking global warming style. It's not even really becoming winter until like February. When I was a kid, we had a snowy Christmas in Ohio. Like it was snowing in December. Shit is getting crazy. Now, will it affect the pump? No, not really. Unless the weather gets so severe that you can't make it to the gym, then I guess that could affect the pump. But for the most part, rain, shine, snow, storm, the lift is happening. Even in severe situations. You know, I've definitely gone onto the roads when probably wasn't the best idea just to make it to the gym. Last winter, it was brutal. They couldn't even get the plows out in time, so it was rough. If you tried a quick turn, I mean, you could fucking spin out. But me and little bro Mark were like, we're getting out there. We're headed to the fucking Y. We called in ahead, and they must have had somebody who lived like right across the street make it in to be able to open it up. So we're like, if they're open, then we're coming. Drive over there, had a badass back day, came home and put our maybe not matching PJs on, but got nice and cozy and just hung out. So simple life for the next 4 weeks. Well, I've got an online class, but that's not that hard. Apart from that, this is nice. This is nice. This is conducive with gains. Go home, hang out with the parents, see my dog, see the cat. Dude, my cat he's kind of, let's just say he's irritable. He's in his, I was kind of asking for trouble. So he was inside of his crate, and I took him out of his safe space, and I was petting him. He was getting mad. So I had to put him back. I upset the beast, Mr. Oliver, named after the infamous biscuit Oliver, if you know what I'm saying there. Not much of a resemblance though, because the cat's white, but you get the idea. So, what am I gonna eat? I'm not sure. Probably a variety of sweets, cookies. My sister just baked a ton of them. I talked about it on the way here. Those are gonna be nice. Freaking go Santa mode on this bulk plate of cookies and milk. That's all I got, man. Make sure you get some good lifts in. Food should no longer be an issue, right? Christmas time, the holidays, that's when people talk about, oh crap, I put on a couple pounds. That should be you. That should be you, man. But not in the way that most people would think, right? We're talking lean tissue. Even if you got to add a little bit of fat on top of it, right? We want to deposit some serious beef onto our frames, the likes of which, once we cut down and reveal, will be freaking awe-inspiring, ideally borderline godlike. But you get the idea. Keep the grind going. Don't consider this a break from whatever kind of responsibilities you've got going on. Actually, I guess if you're a working man, then you're kind of screwed. I think I'm kind of targeting the younger demographic who's still in like high school or college, where this actually is a bit of a break. But make use of it. Get your meals down. Train hard. Hell, man, you've got at least a few weeks of doing basically nothing. Do it 2 a day, man. Get in the gym in the morning and do your cardio. I know you've been putting that off, and you should know that I know that. Right? Don't think you get a pass just because I don't actually, get to look at you and see your situation. Right? I'm basing this off of cold, hard data and statistics. You should get your cardio going. But that's all I got, man. I'll see you next time.